Imagine living your entire life with the belief that every setback, every obstacle, every tough moment wasn't just something to survive, but a stepping stone designed to propel you toward something greater. Now, I know that might sound like one of those motivational blurbs you scroll past on your feed. But stay with me, because this idea isn't just wishful thinking. It's a mindset grounded in a philosophy that's weathered centuries and still stands strong. Stoicism. Stoicism isn't about avoiding pain or pretending everything is okay. It's about transforming pain, learning to face life's storms with courage and clarity. It teaches us not just to endure hardships, but to use them to turn them into fuel for growth, wisdom, and purpose. Today, we're diving deep into this ancient yet powerful philosophy. Whether you're navigating personal struggles, career pressures, or just the unpredictability of everyday life, Stoic teachings offer a clear, actionable guide. One that shows us true strength comes not from controlling the world around us, but from mastering our response to it. If you've ever felt like life keeps throwing waves your way, if you've ever craved peace in the middle of chaos, or even if you're just curious how ancient wisdom can spark modern transformation, this journey is for you. So let's walk this path together toward more resilience, more purpose, and more inner strength. And if you're ready to explore how to shift challenges into stepping stones, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Every second of this video is designed to elevate your mindset and empower your soul. 7 timeless Stoic principles to unleash your full potential. 1. Challenge the boundaries you've built. How often do we quietly accept the limits we've placed on ourselves? We go through our routines, our days, our lives, rarely stopping to ask, is this all I'm capable of? That's where a deceptively simple question comes in. Why not? Why not is more than a phrase, it's a key that unlocks the door to untapped potential. And when paired with the Stoic mindset, it becomes a powerful force for transformation. You see, Stoics weren't passive observers of fate. They were relentless in their self-reflection. They questioned their assumptions, tested their values, and continuously asked if their actions aligned with their highest self. So when a challenge appeared, they didn't shrink, they leaned in. They asked, why not rise to meet this? Why not choose the path that strengthens me, even if it's uncomfortable? This isn't about chasing every wild idea or risking recklessly. It's about intentional, courageous action, the kind that aligns with who you truly are and who you're becoming. And perhaps even more importantly, why not is also a challenge to the inner voice that tells you to stay small. The one that fears failure, the one that prefers the familiar over the fulfilling. Every time you dare to question that voice, you reclaim a little more of your power. Think about the great Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus. They didn't become icons by staying in their comfort zones. They chose the harder path, the path of character, of virtue, of resilience. And so can you. So next time you're standing at the edge of uncertainty, pause and ask, why not go for it? Why not believe in your capacity to rise? Because in that moment, you're not just making a choice, you're rewriting your story. You're becoming someone who doesn't run from life's challenges, but steps into them ready, willing, and unshakable. 2. Make growth your obsession. In the philosophy of Stoicism, there's a powerful concept called prohairesis, the idea that our character, choices, and inner development are entirely within our control. The Stoics weren't chasing perfection, they were devoted to continuous progress. And that's exactly the mindset we need today. A deep, almost relentless drive to grow, not for recognition, but for alignment with our truest selves. Being obsessed with growth doesn't mean being harsh or impatient. It means being passionately committed to becoming a better version of who you were yesterday. It means seeing your daily actions, whether at work, in your relationships, or in quiet moments of reflection, as opportunities to level up. The beauty of this mindset: it reframes setbacks as part of the process. Failures stop being dead ends and start becoming feedback. Every misstep becomes raw material for wisdom. That's what it means to grow with intention. So how do you make progress your daily practice? Set meaningful goals that reflect your values, not just your ambitions. Check in with yourself daily. Are your actions building the life you want? Lean into discomfort. Stretch beyond what feels easy. That's where the evolution happens. Stay humble. Stay curious. Growth is a lifelong game. You never arrive. There is no finish line, and that's the magic. The path of progress is the path of purpose. So fall in love with the process. Be relentless. Be kind. Be all in on your own evolution. 3. Show up with everything you've got. One of the most powerful traits of the Stoics was their absolute dedication. When they committed to something, they didn't dip a toe in, they dove in head first. Not because they craved recognition, but because they understood a deeper truth. The value of any pursuit lies in the heart and effort you bring to it. To live fully means to live wholeheartedly. It's about showing up fully present, fully engaged with every ounce of focus, energy, and intention you've got. Whether you're working on your craft, spending time with loved ones, or chasing your personal goals, the Stoic path calls for total commitment. This isn't about perfectionism. It's about integrity. It's about refusing to go through life on autopilot. Every day is a chance to make conscious choices, to act boldly, think clearly, and love deeply. Half-hearted effort leads to half-lived lives, and that's not what we're here for. So what does pouring your heart into it look like in the real world? Identify what truly matters, what lights you up, what aligns with your values. Show up consistently, not just when it's easy. Discipline beats motivation every time. Engage fully, listen with intent, act with purpose, love without hesitation. When challenges come, meet them with resilience. Let adversity sharpen your spirit. Because in the end, it's not about how big your accomplishments are. It's about the depth of your effort, the sincerity of your commitment, the love you pour into the process. Live like everything you do matters, because it does. And when you give it all you've got, you won't just reach your goals. You'll become the kind of person who was worthy of them all along. Showing up fully, giving it your all, isn't just a task you check off once. It's a mindset, a daily choice. It's about living with energy, presence, and a deep desire to be fully alive and fully you. You don't commit deeply because you have to. You do it because you want to live a life that's true, rich with meaning, and aligned with your highest values. And the more you bring your whole self to what you do, the more you'll find fulfillment, not just in outcomes, but in the journey itself. Living this way fuels your purpose. It pushes you toward excellence, yes, but more importantly, it shapes you into someone who lives with passion, clarity, and unwavering drive. So let's walk this path together, lifting each other up, pushing each other forward, and creating lives built on wholehearted effort, unshakable principles, and a legacy that outlasts us. 4. Stay loyal to your path. In a world overflowing with noise, temptations, and distractions, it's easy to veer off course. But the real power lies in staying true to your journey, especially when everything around you tries to pull you away from it. Staying the course isn't about being stubborn. It's about being rooted. It means knowing your values, honoring your personal mission, and refusing to be swayed by fleeting trends or empty validation. The Stoics knew this well. They weren't immune to life's chaos, but they were committed to living with integrity. For them, staying on their path was a statement of character. So how do you stay aligned? Reconnect regularly with your why. What matters most to you? What are you building? Adjust when needed, but always in alignment with your values. Develop a discipline to make aligned decisions, even when they're inconvenient or unpopular. Your path is yours for a reason. Stay loyal to it, not because it's easy, but because it's true. 5. Let go of the outcome, own the process. We are often told to chase results, measure wins, and tie our worth to what we achieve. But Stoicism offers a radical shift. What if success isn't about what you get, but how you show up? When you focus only on the finish line, you risk losing the joy, the growth, and the wisdom that comes from the process itself. Worse, you tie your happiness to things you can't fully control, like outcomes, recognition, or timing. The Stoics teach us to pour ourselves into what we can control: our effort, our mindset, our character, and release attachment to what's outside of that. That's where real peace and power live. So, what does this look like in action? Show up with purpose and give your full effort, not because of what you'll gain, but because that's who you choose to be. Measure success by your growth, your courage, and your integrity, not just by results. When the outcome doesn't match your expectations, take the lesson, then move forward. This mindset doesn't mean you stop setting goals. It just means you stop letting outcomes define you. And that's when you start to feel truly free. 6. You radiate what you cultivate. Imagine living as though your inner world is reflected back at you through every experience, relationship, and moment. Because in many ways it is. If you carry resentment, fear, or negativity, you'll likely notice those very patterns mirrored in your daily life. But if you nurture strength, kindness, and integrity, that energy has a way of echoing outward. This is the Stoic way, to build your life from the inside out. The Stoics understood that you can't always control what happens around you, but you can control who you are within it. And that changes everything. When you develop character, you don't just respond better to the world, you start to transform your experience of it. So how do you begin embodying this idea? Check in with yourself regularly. Observe your thoughts, intentions, and actions. Are they aligned with the person you want to be? Consciously develop your core virtues. Whether it's discipline, patience, empathy, or courage, practice being that person before expecting the world to respond in kind. Accept imperfection. Growth doesn't require flawlessness. It requires awareness and the willingness to evolve. Remember, what you are is far more influential than what you say or what you want. When you choose to lead with values, the world tends to meet you with reflections of that same clarity and depth. 7. Turn resistance into a resource. Let's be honest, life throws curveballs. Unexpected setbacks, delays, disappointments, they're part of the deal. But here's the Stoic secret. What feels like an obstacle may actually be your greatest opportunity in disguise. When challenges arise, Your instinct might be to resist, complain, or retreat. But what if you flipped the script? What if every roadblock was actually a doorway to strength, clarity, and resilience? The Stoics didn't ignore hardship. They simply refused to be defeated by it. They saw every difficulty as a kind of training a way to refine the soul, sharpen the mind, and reveal what you're truly made of. Want to adopt that mindset? Reframe adversity. When something hard shows up, pause and ask, what is this here to teach me? Use setbacks as springboards. Failure doesn't mean stop, it means shift, adapt, try again. Use discomfort as growth in motion. The things that test you are often the very things that build you. In the Stoic tradition, the obstacle becomes the way. It's not the thing that blocks your path, it is the path. Each challenge holds the potential to transform you, to bring out a version of yourself that wouldn't exist without that test. So embrace resistance, not because it's easy, but because within every trial lies a hidden triumph waiting to be claimed. As we walk the path of life guided by the wisdom of Stoicism, we come to realize that our greatest power doesn't lie in controlling the world, but in mastering ourselves, in choosing our responses, in focusing on what truly matters, and in letting go of the rest with grace and dignity. Let us remember, the road to true peace and fulfillment begins within, not in external achievements or possessions, but through the cultivation of virtue, resilience, and inner calm. Thank you for joining me on this philosophical journey today. You are a valued part of the Stoic Strength community. To deepen your understanding of this path, be sure to check out one of the recommended videos on your screen. Together, we grow stronger, wiser, and more grounded in the timeless principles that guide us toward a meaningful, purpose-driven life.